Hello guys, this is Shoaib Yaqub. Our today's question is Pault Company. This is September-December 2016 attempts question. Let's start with the requirement. Using the current spot yield curve rates as the basis for estimating forward rates. So that means we need to calculate the forward rates with the help of spot yield curve. Calculate the amount company expect to pay or receive each year under the swap, excluding the fee of 25 basis point. So we need to calculate how much we are going to pay or receive each year under the tenure of the swap. This is the exam level question from the past articles. Another type of question has also been tested from the same type of scenario. Calculate Pault Company interest payment liability for year 1 if the yield curve rate is 4.5% or 2.9%. Comment on your result. Obviously, when we have locked our position under the swap agreement, if interest rate rises or falls, our position will be the same. Advise the chairman on the current value of the swap to Pault Company and the factor which would change the value of the swap. Okay. Discuss the advantages to Pault Company of not undertaking a swap. So we have to write about the advantages of not undertaking a swap and disadvantages of not undertaking a swap. Actually, this is all about the advantages of swap and disadvantages of swaps. Being liable to pay interest at floating rates. Let's move to the requirement. Pault Company is currently undertaking a major program of product development. Company has made a significant investment in plant and machinery for this program. For the next couple of years, Pault Company has also budgeted for significant development and launch costs for a number of new products. Although its finance director believes there is some uncertainty with those budgeted figures as they will depend upon competitors' activity amongst other matters. Okay, company issued floating rate loan. Okay, company has floating rate loan with a face value of $400 million to fund the investment in plant and machinery. The loan notes are redeemable in 10 years time. The interest on the loan notes is payable annually and the rate is the floating rate plus the 50 basis point. Company finance director has recently completed a review of the company overall financing strategy. His review has highlighted expectation that interest rate will increase over the next few years. Although the prediction of the financial expert in the media differs significantly, the finance director is concerned about the expert company has to increase in interest rate through the loan notes. Obviously, company will be exposed to floating rate loan. He has therefore discussed with the bank the possibility of taking out a 4-year swap. So loan has a duration of 10 years, but company is going to take the swap for 4 years. The proposed terms are that Pault Company would pay bank interest rate based on the fixed rate, that is 4.847%. In return, would receive from a bank a variable amount based on the forward rates calculated from the spot yield curve at the time of payment minus 20 basis point. So this is important. You will receive floating rate minus 20 basis point. Payment and receipt would be made annually, with the first one in a year's time. Bank would charge an annual fee of 25 basis point. This will be the fee. Okay, these are the spot yield curves are given. Number of concerns were raised at the recent board meeting when the swap arrangement was discussed. Pault Company chairman wondered what the value of the swap arrangement to Pault Company was and whether the value would change over time. So that is the point number B. One of the Pault Company non-executive director objected to the arrangement, saying that in his opinion the interest rate Pault Company would pay and the bank charges were too high. Company ought to stick with its floating rate commitment. Investor would be critical if at the end of 4 years company had paid higher cost under the swap than it would have done had it left the loan unhedged. So this is all about the C part. So let's start with the A part. Actually, we all know from the basics that the value of the swap is zero at the swap of the contract, and this is equal to present value of all floating receipts minus present value of all fixed payments. So it is clear from the scenario that company has taken a floating rate loan. So in the swap arrangement, company will receive floating leg and company will pay the fixed leg. Okay, we will always do the floating calculation using the forward rates, and we will discount these both legs using the spot yield. Although there is no need to do the discounting, because in the requirement we just have to calculate the amount of payment or receipt each year under the swap. So let's calculate the forward rates. So the forward rates are these are the 4-year spot yield forward rate. First year spot yield is 3.7% and the forward rate is same. Second year spot yield is 4.25% and the let's write all. What about the forward rate? That is equal to 1.0425 raised to power 2 over 1.037 raised to power 1 minus 1. That is equal to 1.0425 raised to power 2 divided by 1.037 raised to power 1 minus 1. That is equal to 4.80. Okay, this is equal to 1.047 raised to power 3, 1.0425 raised to power 2 minus 1. This will be equal to and that is equal to 5.61. And this will be equal to 1.051 raised to power 4 divided by 1.047 raised to power 3 minus 1. 1.051 raised to power 4 6.31 percentage. So what is the meaning of this 4.8%? If company takes loan, if company wants to borrow after year 1 for a period of year 1, that means 4.8%. What is the meaning of this 5.61%? If company wants to borrow for 1 year after a period of 2 years. So if company wants to take, if company wants to commit interest rate of 1 year after a period of 2 years, that means you will lock 5.61%. But it's 4.7%. What is the meaning of 4.7%? If you want to borrow for 3 years from now, so you will receive 4.7% per annum return at the end of year 3. Okay, now let's calculate the fixed and floating leg. Floating receipts minus fixed payment. This is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So it was written in the scenario that we will receive the floating variable amount based on the forward rates minus 20 basis point. So first year we will receive 3.5%. In second year we will receive 4.6%. In third year we will receive 5.41%. and fourth year 6.11%. And what about the fixed? Fixed payment is 4.847%. 4.847%. 4.84. Let me check again. Yes, 4.847%. So let's calculate the amount. 400 into 3.5%. It's 14 million. $18.4, 21.64, 24.44. And what about fixed payment? Every year it will be fixed at 19.388. So net payment in first year it will be negative 5.388 payment, and second year it will be negative 0.988. In third year it will be a positive payment, and fourth year it will also positive payment. So if we take the present value of these differences, the net of all these differences will be 0. So that's how we will calculate the swap value at inception, and that is equal to 0. Okay, let's solve its B part. Calculate the Pault company interest payment liability for year 1 if the yield cover rate is 4.5 or 2.9%. So we have locked our position, that is, first of all we have borrowed from bank at LIBOR floating plus 50 basis point, and we are receiving floating minus 20 basis point, and we are paying 4.847%, and we are also paying a fee of 25 basis point. So what will be the after swap cost? After swap cost will be 4.847 plus 0.25, and we are not receiving 0.2. This will also become the cost. We have also paid 0.5, so both will become our cost, and the net cost is 5.79%, and both the LIBOR will be cancelled out with each other. If interest rate moves to 4.5 or 2.9, our end cost will be the same. Like if interest rate move to 4.5, that means LIBOR plus 0.5 means we have to pay the 5, and we will receive 4.3%. We have to pay 4.847. We have to pay the fee. Net cost will be 5.79%. The same is the case here. We will have to pay 3.4 as 2.9 plus 0.5. We will receive 2.7. We will have to pay 4.847%. Then again the fee, net cost will be same 5.797%. So we have locked our position whether interest rate falls or rise. That's for the B part. Okay, let's move to the third part, that advise the chairman on the current value of the swap to Pault company. We have already discussed that initially at inception the swap value is 0 because present value of all the fixed payments and the present value of all the floating receipt both will become equal. So there is no benefit in swap contract at start at initially at start of the position for both the parties, but as time passes it will become beneficial for one party and it will become loss making for the another party. Like in this position, if interest rate rises, the Pault company will be at the beneficial position, because if interest rate rises we will receive higher amount and we will have to pay the fixed leg at the same rate. So definitely it will become a positive position for us. Okay, what about the disadvantage and advantage of the swap? Let's discuss from the answer. So these are the disadvantages of the swaps. Swap represent a long-term commitment at a time when interest rates appear uncertain. It may be that interest rate rises are lower than expected and you have locked your position at 5.79%, but interest rates, instead of increasing, interest rates starts declining. In this case, Pault company will commit to a higher interest rate and its finance cost may be higher than if it had not taken out the loan, if it had not taken out the swap arrangement. Company may not be able to take action to relieve this commitment if it becomes clear that swaps are unnecessary. On the basis of expected forward rates, Pault company will not start benefiting from the swap until year 3. In first 2 years, company will face loss. Particularly during year 1, the extra commitment to interest payment may be an important burden at a time when company will have a significant development and launch cost. So in first year of the swap, even in the second year of swap, both years is a loss case for the company. But especially in first year, it will be a heavy loss because instead of 14 million, we will have to pay 19.838 million. Pault company will be able for an arrangement fee, although we have to pay the arrangement fee in other types of hedging, but in case of swap, this is this is some significant fee. What are the possible advantages of swap? The swap means the annual interest payment liability will be fixed at 23.19 million over the next 4 years. This is certain figure which can be used in budgeting. Having a fixed figure may help planning, particularly as a number of other costs associated with the investments are uncertain. So uncertainty has gone because we have locked our position at 23.19 million. Directors will be concerned not just about the probability that the floating rates will result in a higher commitment than under the swap, but also be concerned about how high this commitment could be. Director may feel that rates may possibly rise to a level which give company problems in meeting its commitment and regard that as unacceptable. So, if directors will be concerned about the floating rates, you have locked your position and you have reduced that uncertainty level because of the swap contract. Any criticism after the end of the loan period will be based on hindsight. What appeared to be the cheapest choice at that stage may not have been what appeared most likely to be the cheapest choice when the loan was taken out. Obviously, when we are taking a loan, we don't know what would be the cheapest choice. So here now in this case, if swap is available, let's take out the swap. Maybe after 4 years, it will be beneficial for the company, but at least you have locked your position for 4 years. In addition, criticism of the director for not choosing the cheapest option fails to consider risk. The cheapest option may be the most risky. Director may reasonably take the view that saving in cost is not worth the risk incurred, but we don't know what will happen in the next 4 years. If in next 4 years interest rate rises to the significant level, what would you do? You have to take the risk. So instead of taking the risk, let's fix that risk. Let's fix that interest rate amount. If interest rate rises significantly, obviously we have already locked our position. Obviously, hedging doesn't mean that you will always be at a favorable position, but hedging does mean that you have reduced your uncertainty level. Swap is for a shorter period than the loan and thus allows, obviously loan is for 10 years, but you have locked your position only for the 4 years. It is giving you another option that if swap is beneficial for 4-year period, you have the option to do another swap contract for the remaining period. And if swap is not at the beneficial position after 4 year, uh, do not go for another swap contract. Swap is for shorter period than the loan and thus allow Pault company to reconsider the position in 4 years time. It may choose to take out another swap then on a different terms. So let the arrangement lapse and pay floating rates interest on the loan depending on the expectation at the time of future interest rates. So if interest rates are on declining trend, do not do swap after 4 years. And if interest rates are on the inclining trend, then we must do another swap contract for the remaining period. So that's all for Pault company. If you have any problem in financial management and advanced financial management, you can contact me at Shoaib Yaqub at ymail.com. You can also like my page on the Facebook. It's Shoaib Yaqub. CFA, and subscribe this channel. Obviously you will get all the updates on the regular basis. Thank you so much.